So I hope this slideshow is present, as visible to everybody. This slide.
Yes, sir. Visual, sir.
Oh. So the topic of my discussion is practical examples of artificial intelligence. So these are the contents that I'll be covering. So first we'll proceed with introduction. Um, because this FDP started yesterday, so some of things you might find as common. Anyway, just to proceed to practical examples, practical application, I'll have to slightly go through these as revision, you can say. So artificial intelligence, it is simulation of human intelligence processes by machines, especially computer systems. So we very well know the applications of artificial intelligence, like expert systems, natural language processing, speech recognition, and machine vision. Then AI requires foundation of specialized hardware and software for writing and training machine learning algorithms such as Python and Java. So these are two of the many examples that are being used as software in AI. Then artificial intelligence system work by ingesting large amounts of labeled training data, analyzing the data for correlations and patterns, and using these patterns to make predictions about future states. So we'll be covering some practical examples related to this. Then chatbot, it is a example of chatbot is example, like for example, you call a bank and a recorded message responds to your query. So that is a chatbot. So you have a lifelike exchanges with the people. So actually, that is a machine that is catering to you, but the people are being replaced by machines. So that is one application of image as this artificial intelligence. Then image recognition tool can learn to identify and describe objects in images by reviewing millions of examples. So we'll be covering these examples later. Then the artificial intelligence has become a big help to industries, to large institutions, to large organizations in their operation. And suppose if there are some repetitive tasks, then this machine it performs better. Human being may suffer from fatigues, may suffer from error, mistakes, but machine no such problem in a machine. Then all the AI tools they complete the jobs quickly and with few errors. Then of course because of this feature of AI, it has resulted in high efficiency and new openings prices. Example here is Uber has become one of the largest companies in the world by its such is already done. So that is hello. Anybody please respond. So am I audible? I think I'll internet. I lost the internet in between, I think.
Yes, sir. Your voice is clear.
Okay. Okay. So was there any break in my presentation?
No.
Anyway, I'll continue. I'll continue. Then I'll briefly cover types of artificial intelligence. We have reactive machines. They have no memory and are task specific. Example is Deep Blue, the IBM chess program that beat Gary Kasparov in 1990s. Deep Blue can identify pieces on the chessboard and make predictions, but cannot use past experience to inform future one. So this is how the so then there is then AI systems with limited memory. We have for these we have the self-driving cars. They can use past experience to inform future decisions. They have some memory. Then artificial intelligence moving towards mind, I mean comparable to mind. So a system would have social intelligence to understand emotions, will be able to infer human intentions and predict behavior, and so become integral members of the human team. So gradually, the artificial intelligence machines, they are becoming more and more human. You can say. Then the last is self-awareness. They have AI systems can have a sense of self. This is the five parts: learning, reasoning, problem solving, perception, and language understanding. So in learning, computer program learns in different manners. Learning for artificial includes trial and error method. This solution trial and error method of learning. Then it includes memorizing individual items like different solutions to problems. And so this is how it turns artificial intelligence. Is used for problem finding. Then perception. Perception. This involves use of neurons and artificial neural network and artificial neurons.
Hello, good morning, sir. Sorry for interrupting.
So we'll be covering all this. Then language understanding.
Hello, good morning. Sorry for interrupting.
Good morning.
Actually, you are disconnected and rejoined. Here it is. Your screen is not visible, sir.
Oh, I see. I see.
I hope you are having some network issues.
Okay, I'll try to go for a better network. Just give me a few minutes. I'll go for a better. So I hope things are better now. Am I audible and visible both?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Okay. So I was discussing components of artificial intelligence. I'll cover it quickly. So the artificial intelligence has a feature of learning, and it learns by one feature that it uses trial and error method, and collects data and uses to come to a conclusion. Then reasoning. I was discussing reasoning. Reasoning is used in fuzzy logic. Use if and then rules are being used, and that is part of artificial intelligence. And I had given an example. So suppose that if there is fire, there is. I mean, if there is smoke, there is fire. Right. So if suppose there is fire, there is smoke on the hill, so we can conclude that there is fire over there. So this is a rough example of using reasoning. Then we have problem solving, and I told that we use a genetic algorithm. Genetic algorithm again is part of artificial intelligence, and to come to find a solution to a variable x, and we'll be covering this in an example as well. Then perception that is again part of a neural network. We use artificial neurons and use it for problem solving and coming to a conclusion. The language understanding, of course, the AI has been developed to understand the most common language, English, and provide solutions and help in. He is working. So these are some features of components of artificial intelligence. Then there is a topic called AI process, artificial intelligence process. So the first is the learning process. This aspect of AI programming focuses on acquiring data and creating rules for how to turn the data into actionable information. And the rules, which are called algorithms, provide computing devices with step-by-step instructions for how to complete a specific task. Right. So algorithms are algorithms are being used here. Then reasoning process again. The aspect of AI. This aspect of AI for program focuses on choosing the right algorithm to reach a desired outcome. So first is the learning process. We develop algorithms, and then reasoning, which will be the best algorithm. Then self-correction. This aspect of AI programming is designed to continually fine-tune algorithms and ensure that they provide the most accurate results possible. So self-correction feature is also a part of this AI. Then we have types of learning. We have supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Then in supervised learning, the data sets are labeled so that patterns can be detected and used to label new data sets. And this aims to train the different algorithms to describe input data. It allows the algorithm to present the input data in such a manner that it can produce outputs effectively and without making many errors. So, so we have algorithms to describe the input data. So here the applications are recognizing speech, faces, objects, handwriting or gestures. Then we have unsupervised learning. The data sets aren't labeled. You have raw data, and they are sorted according to similarities on or differences, and more of a trial and error method. This is unsupervised learning. Then semi-supervised, it falls between unsupervised and supervised learning, and is used by AI when it requires solving balance around different approaches. And the reference data needed to find a solution is available, but it is somewhere either accurate or incomplete. So you have a vague situation. So there we use semi-supervised learning. Then it can easily access reference data and apply the use of unsupervised learning techniques to find the nearest possible solution, and can easily find relationships, patterns, and structures. And it is used in reducing human biases in the process, right? So human decision can be biased, and that is so it goes through all the possibilities, all the possible relationships or patterns, and then comes to a conclusion. Herein the situation is where the situation is vague, inaccurate, or incomplete. So there is this semi-supervisor. Then reinforcement learning. It allows the system to train algorithms with the use of punishment and reward system. The language user rewards by executing operations correctly, and penalties in situations where it cannot execute operations nicely. So if you are going to the right path, it is being rewarded, and it is being indicated that we are on the right path. And if we are deviating, then warning is issued. This way, the algorithm learns without being taught by any human and uses the least median intervention in learning. So this is, we can say, unsupervised learning, a type of unsupervised learning, but a sort of reward and punishment method is used. Then focuses on maximizing the reward and diminishing the penalty to learn well. So we move. So idea is to maximize the reward and come to a solution. So this was a bit technical discussion. So I hope you are able to follow me, everybody. So I hope I am audible as well as visible. Presentation, I hope.
No, sir.
Big problem. So could you follow the last few minutes? I explain the slides. Were you able to follow? I need a feedback that I hope that everybody is with me. I hope.
Sir, audible and visible.
Okay. I need some regular feedbacks because internet is a big problem. Then some short discussion on advantage, disadvantage. So advantage of AI, it is good at detail-oriented jobs. and reduce time for data heavy tasks. Of course, human being will take a long time, and machine does it quickly and delivers consistent results. Human being can may develop errors, but not the same case with machines. And AI-powered virtual agents are always available. The chat bot and all, it is available 24 hours. Human being may need time to rest, so maybe rest periods for him, but machine is always available. So these are the advantages. Then disadvantage, it is expensive, of course, and requires deep technical expertise. And then limited supply of qualified workers to build AI tools. So still AI is still it is in a development stage, and but only knows what it's been shown. So it will work in a limited environment. Yeah, it cannot think on its own and beyond, and exactly it cannot think exactly like a human being. It will take time to develop to reach that level. The lack of ability to generalize from one task to another, which is a feature of human being, and the machine is yet to reach that level. Then a brief discussion of examples of AI technology. Then automation, of course, robotic process automation. It is a type of software that automates repetitive rule-based data processing tasks traditionally done by humans. So we are moving gradually to robots. Then machine learning, the science of getting computer to act without programming, based on algorithm that can learn from data without relying on rule-based program. So the data decides the algorithm, right? And a part of it is deep learning. It is a subset of machine learning and automation of predictive analytics. So the data decides the algorithm. Then machine vision gives machines the ability to see. It captures, analyzes visual information using a camera, analog to digital conversion, and digital signal processing. So used in signal identification, medical image analysis, and now you see in many places we have this face identification and all. So that is all part of machine vision. The machine looks at you and then matches the data and presents it, whether it is you or somebody else or not. Then natural language processing. Processing human language by a computer program. Example, spam detection. For example, in an email. So it scans the language and checks for a spam. Then robotics again. So robots are very integral to artificial intelligence, and robots are being used in assembly lines for car production, and used by NASA to move large objects in space. Not possible by a human being. Then self-driving cars, autonomous vehicle, they again are using artificial intelligence to build to pilot a vehicle while staying in a given lane and avoid unexpected obstructions such as pedestrians. So we are gradually moving towards these things. Then applications of AI, artificial intelligence. It is being used in healthcare. Companies are applying machine learning to make better, faster, and better diagnosis than humans. Then one technology is IBM Watson. Watson is from Sherlock Holmes. So IBM Watson has been developed in healthcare to diagnose diseases. It understands human natural language and can respond to questions asked. So it involves a chatbot also. It mines patient data to form hypotheses and presents it. Then online virtual health assistants and chatbots to help patients and healthcare customers find medical information. So these things are being done. Appointments are being scheduled and segregate what kind of patient is. So all the billing process and all is being done using artificial intelligence. And now latest is that this COVID-19 has been here also. The AI technology has been used to predict, fight, and understand pandemic. Then in machine learning algorithm, again business management is being for that again this artificial intelligence being used to better serve the customers. Again, we have chatbots here and automated job positions. Instead of hiring a human being, we have machines doing the job. So so we all are at a risk, and may so possibilities are that more and more chatbots and more automated machines will be taking our job positions. Maybe it may come a robot joining as assistant professor. So AI can automate in education also. It can automate grading, and it can assess students and adapt to their needs, helping them to work at their own space. Like in our institute, we are also using integral learning initiative to assess student progress and all. And it can provide additional support in student, ensuring they stay on track. Again, used by using chatbot and all, and use of all the data of the student and provide guidance. Then in finance, and again, IBM Watson is being used, and the artificial intelligence software performs much of the trading on Wall Street, which is a share market. Share market location, you can say, in the US. Then again, in law also, artificial intelligence being used, and in the legal industry, law firms are using machine learning to describe data and predict outcomes, computer vision to classify and extract information from documents, and natural language processing to interpret requests for information. So again, it is everywhere. Artificial intelligence is almost everywhere. Then in manufacturing, of course, the robots are there. Then now we have cobots. We have moved from robots to cobots, and they are a smaller multitasking robots that collaborate with humans and take on responsibility for more parts of the job in warehouses, factory floors, and other spaces. So these cobots, they interact with human beings, and coexist with humans. So therefore, they are called as robots. Then again, in banking, we have virtual assistant, we have chatbots to handle transactions. Then banking organization are using AI to improve their decision making for loans and all these. So these gradually are used, moving towards AI. So lot of technical again in transportation, we have vehicles, self-driving vehicles and all, and AI technology are used to, of course, autonomous vehicle, and then to manage traffic, predict flight delays, and make ocean shipping safer and more efficient. Then in security, we are using AI in information and event management software. Then by analyzing data and using logic to identify similarities to know malicious code. Like if you enter wrong password 2 or 3 times, your card gets blocked, ATM gets blocked. So these are all part of ATM. So AI can provide alerts to new and emerging attacks much sooner in case of cyber attacks and also. So AI can help in predicting these attacks. So up till here, there was more technical and more theoretical, you can say. Now I move on to practical applications of AI. So I will be not discussing. I hope you are able to follow up till here. Any feedback? No, this was a bit, you can say, more of theoretical. Now move on to practical now. I hope you are able to follow up till here. Any response, please?
Yes, sir. We are able to follow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we move on to practical applications of AI. Now I'll be showing you some examples which over the years I have developed. Now, use of neural network in pattern recognition. Now this is a bit of theoretical. I'll just briefly wait a second. I'll be using this just a second. So this is this neural network. It is used for pattern recognition. I'll not go into detail. Just explain. Use just a minimum explanation. You give a pattern here, and these are associations stored in the neural network, right? If you give this, it will give an output this out. If you give this, it will give an output of this, and if you give this as input, it will give an output of this as an output. So in this case, the input pattern presented was this. So output was this. So this was so this is called as pattern recognition. So moving forward, then there are two kinds of pattern recognition. One is hetero associative memory and auto associative memory. In hetero, there is a link. For this should be the output. So if you are giving this as input, output will be this. And then in case of auto associative memory, two patterns are stored, and you give a distorted pattern. You give a distorted pattern, and this the neural network it will try to judge which is the closest to this, and it will and it finds that this is the closest, and this gives the output. Like suppose this is being used in very old paintings, for example, and which has been you can say it has faded and all, and the image is not very clear, and then that is so you are giving a sort of a distorted pattern, and it using that image it is able to create a perfect image. So now recognition of stored, and I'll be discussing one example, and this is an example, suppose. And this is a stored pattern. Actually, any information in a computer, it is stored in you know it is stored in bits, you can say. And suppose I have to show a letter E. Suppose I have to show a letter E, right? Or suppose E may be a bit complicated. I go to a simpler one. Suppose I have to represent a letter T in a matrix, right? So what I may do, I may use this as 1, this as 1. I suppose I use a 3 by 3 matrix, suppose, and this as 1, and this as 1, and this as 1. Now this I can use. There's nothing information available here, so I can write -1 or 0. I can write -1 or 0. So again, it is -1, right? So I have represented T using converted to information which is easily readable by machine. So this is just a general. They have using a pattern. It can be anything. It can be any letter. It can be anything. So these are the 3 rows for A1, A2, and A3. So we have 3 rows: -1, 1, -1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. You can use 0 as well, but here -1 is being used. Now this is a stored pattern, and I'll be demonstrating this case. I'll be demonstrating this case that when I presented this, and suppose I presented exactly this. And it will show that you have presented this as input. Present to the input exact representation of this, and it will generate an output exactly this. So this is, I am discussing this case first. So suppose I present this stored pattern A2. I present this 1, 1, 1 and -1. which is same as A2. Now the neural network system will show that you have, it will indicate, yes, you have sent in given input the correct input. Now how this is done in a computer, how this is done? So what is done? This information it is being written in a matrix, and a connection matrix is developed. Now I'll show here. So connection matrix, what is done? So this is A1, 1, 1, minus 1 and minus 1 and 1. If you see, minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1. Minus 1, minus 1. Then second row is 1, 1, 1 and minus 1. 1, 1, 1 and minus 1. So 1, 1, 1 and minus 1. And the third row is minus 1, minus 1. So sorry. This is the transpose matrix. This is the original matrix. Here is the original matrix. Minus 1, minus 1. This is the original matrix. The first one. Minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1. Minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1. Then the second row we have 1, 1, 1 and minus 1. 1, 1, 1 and minus 1. In the third row we have minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 and 1. Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 and 1, which is same information as this, if you recall. Right? And using this, I develop the transpose matrix. Because for developing the connection matrix, I'll have to multiply the transpose matrix and the original matrix. So what I do using this, I develop the transpose matrix. So this is the transpose matrix. And what is done? All these the rows have been converted to column. So if you see minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1 and 1. Then the second row, it has been converted to the second column, the 1, 1, 1 and minus 1, 1, 1 and minus 1. And the third row, it has been converted to column, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 and 1, right? So this is the transpose of the original matrix. Now I multiply these two. So the first is the transpose. If transpose matrix, it is being multiplied by the original matrix, you get this connection matrix. You get this connection matrix. I hope you are able to follow up till here. Everybody? I am trying to demonstrate that when you send an...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have developed this connection matrix. I'll come back to this. Sorry. So this is the connection matrix that we have developed. This how we obtained it. Using the original matrix, the transpose multiplied by the original matrix will get this matrix. Then we have some mathematics part. I am not going into the detail. I'll simply just explain how we obtain it. So what is done? This between 3 and 1. Now this we present this pattern. We present this pattern to this matrix. Now what is being done? You see, this 1 multiplied by 3 gives you 3. 1 multiplied by 3 gives you 3. 1 multiplied by 1 gives you 1. 1 multiplied by 3 gives you 3. And again minus 1 multiplied by minus 1, minus 3 gives you again 3. Now this adds to 3 plus 1 plus 4, that is 7 plus 3, 10. Now this is alpha. First part is alpha. And if it is 0, and the second value, which is beta, it is by default selected as 1. So now this alpha, if it is greater than 0, then output will be 1. Output will be 1. So what I have done, I am now, you can say, placing this or interacting this input. I have to this input which I have this input is being checked as whether this is a stored pattern or not. So how to check it? I interacted with this connection matrix. I multiplied this by 3. So 1 into 3 gives you 3. Then 1 into 1 gives you 1 here. Then 1 into 3 gives you again 3. And then 1 into minus 1 into minus 3 gives you 3. And this adds to 3 plus 1 plus 4 is 7. This adds to 10. And 10 is greater than 0. So output is 1. The next case, now this I present to the second column. If you see here, this is 1 into 1 is 1. Again 1 into 3 is 3. 1 into 1 is 1. And minus 1 into minus 1 is 1. So this becomes equal to 3 plus 1 plus 4 plus 6. If you find 6, you will find 6 here. So I hope this second multiplication is clear to everybody. I hope. How I got 6 here. I multiplied this by this and added the terms. This row I multiplied by this column and added the terms and got the value 6. And because 6 is again greater than 0, so output is 1. So I hope it is clear. Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Good. So similarly, this stored this is being interacted with the third column and the fourth column. And if you see this, you will get a value 10 for the third column, and you will get a value minus 10 for the fourth column. You check, because we are multiplying by minus 1. And because minus 10 is less than 0, so output in this case will be minus 1. So the output by when you interacted this input pattern with this connection matrix, the output was 1, 1 and minus 1, which is same as the pattern presented. Now you might say that okay, this has been sort of arranged that you get you send this pattern, you get an output same. But I'll be demonstrating with a noisy pattern. The same thing I'll be demonstrating with a noisy pattern also. So anyway, I'll complete this. When you presented this, the neural network, it gave the same result that and it's indicated that yes, the pattern you presented is a stored pattern, and it is correct. It is a correct pattern that you presented. So this is the correct pattern that you have presented. Now I'll demonstrate the same thing for a noisy pattern, recognition of noisy pattern. Now the same matrix is same, minus 1, 1, minus 1. Now what is done? I am presenting a noisy pattern. What is the noise here? If you see now A2 was 1, 1, 1 and minus 1. Now what I am showing? 1, 1, 1 and 1 only, which does not match any of the rows. Now this is an example of this case. I'll show you. This is a demonstration of this case. This case, you are presenting a noisy pattern, and it will give output which is the correct pattern corresponding to this. You will be presenting a noisy pattern, and the output will be a correct pattern. So this is, I am going to demonstrate this now. So recognition of noisy pattern, again same exercise is done. This is the original matrix. You take a transpose of this connection matrix will be same. Now what I do, I again present this distorted pattern to this connection matrix. Again, if you see, if you multiply it, this will be give you 3 plus 1 plus 3. So this becomes 7, and the last one is positive. So this becomes minus 3. 7 minus 3 is equal to 4, and your answer is 4. I hope it is clear. The first value is 4. Anybody? Any doubt? Anybody? I'm using the same technique. This is the pattern that I presented to this connection matrix, and I'm checking what will be the output. This is a distorted pattern. It is not same as any of these, any of the stored pattern. So what the neural network does to this distorted pattern, input pattern? So when 1 into 3 gives you 3, 1 into 1 gives you 1, 1 into 3 gives you 3, this adds to 7. The last one is 1 into 3 minus 3, 7 minus 3 gives you 4. So is it clear, everybody? Any response?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Similarly, I do this to all the columns. I present this to the second one, and this gives you again 4. And I again present to the third one. This gives you 4. And I present to the last one, and this gives you minus 4. You can check. Minus 3, minus 1, minus 3. This adds to minus 7. And then we have plus 3. This gives you minus 4. Minus 4. And we will know very well if alpha is greater than 1, output will be 1. If again, here will be 1, here it will be 1. And if it is less than 0, output will be minus 1. Now what is this? 1, 1, 1, minus 1. It is the same as the second row. It is the same as the second row. You presented a distorted pattern, but it presented the actual pattern, the correct pattern. So I hope this is clear. This is how neural network behaves. So I hope it is clear. So this was an example of pattern recognition. So I hope it is clear up till here. Any doubt, anybody? I need some feedback.
Clear, sir.
Good, good. So this was now I'll erase this. Then realizing XOR function using McCulloch-Pitts neuron. So I'll just give you a bit of idea what is a neuron. Neuron. This is actual neuron in a brain. Neuron is a cell in a brain. So we have this. This is a cell body. This is axon which connects to the dendrites or synapses of the other neurons. So a neuron, in a brain, a number of neurons are connected. So input, it comes through dendrites or synapses. This cell body which gets activated and it sends output through axon. The same has been developed as an artificial neuron in a neural network. We have inputs. There are three input nodes. We have this summation function, and we have a threshold value. If the summation function exceeds that threshold value, then only there will be an output. Then we have a nonlinear activation function, which accordingly gives an output. We'll be discussing, and then I'll be giving an example. This is how a multi-layer feed-forward network, neural network, artificial neural network consists of. We have input nodes, and then we have this connections to the hidden layer, and then we have the output layer. Output layer can be one or many. And these are the weights. You adjust these weights to realize a result. You adjust these weights because this weight is for this input to this input. This for from each node to all the hidden nodes, all the intermediate nodes. There is a connection, and accordingly there are weights to be adjusted to realize a solution. This is a simple example. We have two input neurons and two hidden neurons and one output neurons. And these are the input values, the weights, and the two weights here. And then we have an output. And this is a sigmoidal function which is being used. This kind of activation function, it is used here, nonlinear activation function. So you give an input, and you get an output. This is the input, and you get an output. This like so. This is sort of pulse. Just like a neuron, it generates a pulse for the sequencing for the next neurons. So this is the activation function that is being used, and you can vary the the rate of rise and all this using the by varying the value of alpha. I am not going much into detail here. Just giving an idea how a neural network behaves and works. Now this is an example. We'll be using this Mag-Colloq-Pitts neuron, this type of artificial neuron, and very small feed-forward network. Very small feed-forward network. 2 inputs and one hidden layer consisting of two nodes, 2 neurons, then 1 output layer consisting of 1 neuron. And you can see by simple programming how we can realize a neural network, you can say. So I'll be demonstrating the program as well. I'm just going through the PDF of this, you can say. So we first enter the weights. So using this command on the MATLAB window, you give these commands and you enter the weights. And just because I showed you that there are 4 weights here. This is W11, and this is W12, and this is W21 and W22. There are 4 weights here, right? So you can see the 4 weights are being used. Then we have V1 and V2, 2 weights here. So this is V1 and this is V2 for the next layer. So these weights need to be adjusted to realize a solution. So we'll be using, you must have studied an XOR gate using binary logic and data logic and all data gates. But here the same thing will be done using neural network. So neural network is able to do all this. So next we give the input value, and this is how XOR is realized. If you recall the truth table of an XOR, what an XOR? If input is 0, both 0, output is 0. Again, when both are 1, output is 0. And when there is a mismatch, 0, 1, output is 1. And again, if it is input is 1 and 0, then output is 1. So I hope you recall the XOR table, truth table.
Yes, sir.
So now, so these are inputs that I'll be giving to the neural network, and this is the output. So this is the input and this is the output. So it will develop a network itself. जैसे मैंने बताया था ना कि डेटा से नेटवर्क खुद डेवलप करेगा मशीन. So this is also possible. The network builds itself with the help of data. We have come to this stage. So next is this is how this works. These Z1 and Zn and Z2, how this happens, because I'll again show you. So what will be here? It is a summation function, and this is equal to this input multiplied by this weight plus this input minus 0.7 multiplied by this weight 0.2, right? So the summation of this will be this into this plus this into this weight. So what is this? This is what the neural network will be doing. So if you see X1 is input, W11 is the first input, then X2 is an below input, and the weight corresponding, and this adds to Z in to the first node. यहाँ पे आपका यहाँ पे जो है ये दोनों इस तरह से ये this multiplied by this plus this multiplied by this gives you this addition. So ये this is what is being done by the neural network. यहाँ पे हो रहा है. इसी तरह से second case same as the second case for Z in. So 0.4 suppose 0.4 multiplied by 0.4 plus minus 0.7 multiplied by 0.2. So this is what is happening here. So this is being written in the program. So Z into X1 into W12, X2 into W22, right? Now this, with the help of the weights, this will be performing this step by step. This simple in a loop, just like in a program. And output will be Y1 V1 plus Y2 V2. From where we got this simple here. So this output will be the input here. यहाँ पे जो summation आपको मिलेगा, that summation multiplied by this plus this summation multiplied by this gives you the output. So that is what is being done here. So simple. Yeah, this is the output mathematics. Now we run the program, and if this output matches Z, what is Z? Z is this. This is Z. And if the output matches this, we stop it. We got the result. We stop. So no more. But if there is a mismatch, then we change the weights. We change the weights and go for correction, right? Until this output matches the input. Output matches Y matches Z, right? This is just working how it happens, and I'll now show you how it is being done. I'll go to MATLAB. I have a program ready here. The same program I'll show you. I have a program ready here. This is experiment 2. I'll show the same. The program that I showed you, the same will be shown here. I'll move this here. Now you see this is we are dealing with micro-outputs neuron. I hope it is visible. The font is not very large, but if you recall, it is same. So this is a program developed in a script file on MATLAB. It has been developed on a script file in MATLAB. The same program that I showed you, right? Same. It is same. If you recall, it is the same program. Theta, it is checking theta. Theta's threshold value will be giving theta as 1. So it has to check, because the neural network behaves like this. There has to be a threshold value also. The threshold value has been given as 1. Then it will be displaying, and ultimately it will be giving you the output. So I'll just I'll now run this program. So very simply, you save the script file with some name. I have saved this experiment 2. Now I'll be typing experiment 2 here. EXP2, right? Now it is asking for weight. Now if you recall, I'll show you what the weights. I'll show you enter weights. So I'll be entering weights 1, -1, -1, 1. This gives you the best result. So I'll be entering 1, -1, -1, 1. So I now enter the weights here. So I'll be entering 1. I'll enlarge it. So I have entered 1. Then I'll be entering, I hope I'm correct. I'll check again. Yeah, it is -1. Then again it is -1, I think. I think it is -1. It's minus. Then finally 1. Then finally it is 1. So the program is asking itself the values. Now it is asking for weight V1. These both are 1. These both are 1. Now enter the threshold value. I'll giving value 1. Now you got the result. So if you check, the output of the net is 0, 1, 1, 0, which is Z, which is the output of XOR. So for the first and last case, the inputs were same, and you got 0, and the second entry and the third entry, the inputs were different. So the output is 1 for both. So and these are again it is showing the weights. It is displaying the weights for Z1 and Z2 and for Y and the threshold value. So I hope you are able to follow this, how we realized a neuron and we got the neuron to realize an XOR function. कुछ समझ में आया भाई आप लोग का? I hope.
Yes, sir.
So these simple things. So what you are doing, you are using artificial intelligence to perform a solution. You get a solution. These are artificial intelligence के tools हैं. आपका neural network, MATLAB, and these are all tools. Using computer, using software, you are able to realize a XOR function, which normally you realize using digital gates. तो आप यहाँ न्यूरल नेटवर्क से आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से आप रियलाइज करा रहे हैं. ठीक है. So next I move. Further examples? Now this was using a programming mode. Now I'll realize an OR gate using a neural network tool in MATLAB. Maybe you might have been using it anyway. Those who have not used, for them. So simply on the command window you type NN tool. You type NN tool. I'll just go through the demonstration first, then I'll actually do it for you. So NN tool, you type on the then this page opens, and then you give the input. And if you recall the truth table of OR gate, if the inputs are 0 and 0, you just recall the inputs 0 0, then 1 0, 0 1, and 1 1, right? So these are inputs that I'll be feeding to the neural network. Then this is the output. Output have an OR gate. So I'll go back. So for 0 0, the output will be 0, and for all the other it will be 1. For the other input it will be 1. So this is how OR gate behaves. So this I set in the targets, and then I assign it a value t. Then I develop a network, and I use a perceptron, which is a very basic network. I give feed the value p, which is the input. Then I feed the value t, which is the target. Then I use a transfer function, which is hard limb. This type of transfer function, when you study neural network, you'll be getting to know these. Then learning function is learn p. It is simple learning function. Then when the network is we are able to create a network, it will be displayed on the GUI. Then you can display the network. We have input, we have these weights, we have this bias, which is the threshold or the function, then the layers, and this is the output. Then we train the network using the value of p and t, input and output, the target, and we train it, and we realize that in minimum of only four cycles, in 3 cycles only, using the weights, by manipulating the weights, the neural network is able to realize the OR gate. It is able to realize the OR gate, and the error is almost 0. You can see it is almost 10 raised to minus, there is almost 0 error. And this is the output, which is the output of an OR gate, and the error is almost 0. And then we simulated, we again presented the input p, and we get again the output is the same. That means the network is working fine. Then we collect all the variables and present it on the workspace. Now I'll be showing you, I'll be demonstrating how we do it. I move this away. Here is command line. I type NN tool. Sorry. This is the window that opens. Sorry. So this is a window that opens. Move it here. Now I select new. Then I first go to data, and I type p here. Now I'm developing the OR gate. So it will be 0 1 0 1 and 0 0 1 1. I hope I remember. 0 1 0 1. Sorry. Yeah, we are here. So this is 0 1 0 1. You type a semicolon, and Then we have zero zero one one. So I type 0 0 1 1. This is and this I place in the input. This is input, and I create. Right. So input has been created. Now I set the target, which is T. So I set as T. Then as target is, of course, it is an OR gate, so it will be 0 0 1 1 1. This is of course the target. Again I create. So target has been created. Now I go on to the network. I write this as OR net. I create a network by name of OR net. Right, and then I select perceptron. Perceptron is a very simple, which is a simple neural network and is sufficient for this case. Then I select the input as P. These are input. Then select target as T. And the hardly when I learn P, it is by default. You don't have to do anything. Then I create. So network has been created. Now I again go to the window, to this window, and you see that OR net has been created, right? Now if I click double P, I'll find that 0101. These are inputs that I have done placed. And I click T, and I'll be getting this should be the output of an OR gate, right? And I click OR net. So this is input. Now I have to train it. This is a network. I have to train it, and I presented P, and I presented the target T, and of course then I train the network, and you see the performance. So it is you can say it is almost zero error, and in 3 epochs it is able to realize it. Now I go to I close it. I go to the OR outputs. You check the outputs now. So you check it is exactly for an OR gate. जो आपने inputs है उसके हिसाब से OR gate realize होगा. खाली initial inputs were 0 0, so of course it will be 0, and for all the other it will be 1 1 1 1. Right? Now error, we check error, and you see the error is 0. It is 0. Now I have to simulate it. I have to simulate it now. And I again go to the network. I have to simulate it. Check. I again presented the input P, and I show the result in some other variable. Check whether the network is working or not. Right? I simulate it. So simulation results have been placed here. You see the output has been placed. So you presented the input P and you got the output again 0. So that means the network is working fine. Now I export this, all these values, and I select all, and I export it, and then they have been exported. I go to the workspace. I go to the workspace and type WHO, right? And if I type now, suppose OR net output. Suppose I type OR net outputs. The variables have been placed on the workspace, the values, and I suppose I type this. You can check it is exactly for or not. So all these values you can always obtain using here. So I hope this is clear. So you realized an OR gate using a neural network, using the GUI, graphic user interface. So I hope up till here it is clear to everybody. I hope you are with me. अभी समझ में आ रहा है everything up till here? Any response?
Yes, sir.
So now we move on to the next. Then we have application of fuzzy logic in artificial intelligence. Fuzzy logic is suppose बहुत briefly I'm trying to explain. Suppose there is a set of a smart student, G1 is student, G2 is a student, G3 and all. So smartness level, it is being expressed in between 0 and 1, 0.4. So this is what is fuzzy. So this G1 student who is smartness level 0.4, second has 0.5, third is 1, another 0.9 and 0. So this is what is fuzzy about. Nothing is crisp. There are no values, there are no exact values. It is all crisp. Suppose again example of fuzzy, cool. You will not, some may say 25 is cool, some may 20 is cool, some may 27 is cool. So it is all sort of a fuzzy thing. So there is a membership function. This is called a trapezoidal membership function. The cool starts beyond less than 20, it becomes cold. So the cool starts from 20, 20 has a value, membership value 0, and 23 has a membership value 1, and up till 30, there is a membership value 1, and after 30, up till 33, the membership value falls to 0. Now this is one interpretation. You can make your own. You can make your own fuzzy sets. It's up to you. So this is an example of a trapezoidal membership function. Now we have this is hyperbolic. This is a Gaussian, and so we have many kinds. This triangular is the best. Triangular is the best. Most easy to work with. Then again, we have an example of fuzzy logic on a scale of 0 to 80. The young, it has a fuzzy membership function. For a 28, it has a value 0, and 40, it has a value 0. And for 28, it has a value 1. Similarly, middle-aged value for 31, it is 0, and for 37, it has a value 1 and all. And for old, it starts from 50, it is 0, and around 63, it becomes old, membership 1. So this is all how membership functions behave, fuzzy logic behaves. This is one example how fuzzy logic behaves. I'll be giving one demo also. Suppose the P1 are varieties of paddy plants and D1 are diseases, right? So a paddy plant may have this disease 0.6, there are 0.6 chances, right? If you rate the chances from between 0 and 1, so there will be chance 0.6 that this paddy will acquire this disease D1. Similarly, this disease D4 may be acquired P8. So this is a matrix, fuzzy matrix, which is relating paddy with diseases. Then we have another matrix which is relating diseases with symptoms, right? So suppose this D1 has a disease, and symptom 4 may be the strongest. So 0.9 is the value here. So this is the matrix which is relating disease and the system. Now, if we wish to relate both these, paddy with symptoms. So what is done now? We perform a max-min operation. Min-max operation. This row and this column. You select the minimum of it. The minimum of 0.6 and 0.1 is 0.1. Again, 0.6 and 1 is 0.6. And 0.9 and 0 is 0. And 0.8 and 0.9 is 0.8. So the first value was 0.1. The second was 0.1. The third was 0. And fourth was 0.8. Out of these 4, maximum will be 0.8. So you get the first value is 0.8. So similarly, the second entry, how we get, this is being interacted with this. This is being interacted with, you get the second value similarly. So this is just how, just as matrices, they behave in crisp logic. Similarly, the fuzzy matrix also behave the same way. And this all this can be realized using a computer and MATLAB and all. So this is just an example, and I'll go to a fuzzy logic controller. Suppose I wish to I design a fuzzy logic controller. So we have a fuzzy logic controller, which the input is speed difference and acceleration, right? So, and the output is throttle control. So what that I showed you the fuzzy the membership functions. So the speed I have selected as range selected a range of 0 to 255, and there are 7 membership functions you can see: negative large, negative medium, negative small, 0, positive small, positive medium, positive large. And I have split the 0 to 255 into these. This one is a trapezoidal and this is a triangular. All these are triangular. So negatively large, it is a fuzzy membership function with a maximum of 1 up till 31 and a 0 at 63. Similarly, negative, medium and all. So all this will be realized in a fuzzy logic controller. I'll be showing it. The same has been done for all the 3. Then we make the rules. If speed difference is negative large and acceleration is 0, then throttle control is positive large. Right? So we make these rules. If the speed difference 0, acceleration is negative large, throttle control is positive large. Right? Acceleration decrease हो रहा है, आपका speed difference 0 है, but there is a deceleration. So of course you need to apply throttle. You need to give a positive throttle. And because deceleration is negative large, you need to give a positive large acceleration. So you can develop your own rules. And I'll be showing it now. And this is just a screenshot. We develop 2 speed deviation and acceleration. Speed difference, and then output as a throttle control. And these are membership functions. I'll be going to the fuzzy logic also. And this is the speed and the rules that I have set. And this is how you realize a fuzzy logic controller. Now I'll be going to the I'll just first import a file. Screws. Now, 2 variables have been selected. You can always add any variable. By default, you will be finding only 1 variable, but you can add another variable. And if you select it, you can change the name here. I have put it SD, right? Similarly, for the second, I put the value acceleration, right? And similarly for the third output, it is TC, throttle control, right? Now I click SD. So if I click SD, by default, only 3 membership functions will be visible. You can always go to edit and add membership functions. Any number of membership functions you can add. Now suppose I've selected this, and you can assign a name here, and you can select. So this one is a trapezoidal membership function. And if I go to the second one, I select the second one, and this is triangular membership function. And I assign the values here. I assign this trapezoid, so I need 4 values. So it will be 0, 0. The first 2 values will be 0, and the third is 63. 0, 0. The trapezoidal function starts from here, and when it reaches 1, again it is a value. X-axis again 0, and here it is 63, and here I think it is a let me check. Sorry. So it is 31 and 63. So it is 31 and 63. So we were here. So it is 0, 0, 31 and 60. Similarly, you can assign the values for all. So for this is triangular membership function, and you have this 31, 63, and 95, so and so on. So coming back to the, so this is how you assign the membership values, right? Membership functions. Next, I go to the rules. I edit rules. I go to the rules. So all simply you can see that it is available always. I have to, if I have to select the first rule, I simply, if you suppose this is negative large, it is selected the first rule, negative large, and then I select here 0, and then I select here positive large, and then add rule, and the first rule will be added. So you can add any number of rules. These values will be available here, and you can decide your own rules, and simply add the rules, and then you can view this. Then you can view the rules. Now you can check. Now the fuzzy logic controller is ready. Fuzzy logic controller is ready. Now I move it here. Accordingly, you can see the value is changed. It will change. I have given an input, crisp input of 83.3, and acceleration is 128. The output is 190. It is given an output 190. If I change it, suppose you say the output becomes 128. So this is a fuzzy logic controller that you have developed. So I hope you are able to follow up till here. Any doubt, anybody? हाँ भाई, कोई doubt? Everybody, I hope. हाँ भाई, I need some feedback. Any doubt? I hope you are able to hear me. Any feedback, please? I'm not able to hear anybody. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll
It's audible, sir.
All right. So this was about the fuzzy cruise controller. Then the same thing you can do in an embedded form. I'll just show you. This is using PID control. This is an example, and this is a result. You get a result. But if you see that there is a peak here, peak overshoot here. Now the same thing is being done using a fuzzy logic controller, and you can see that the peak overshoot has been reduced somewhat. It's going only up to 1.1. So peak overshoot has been reduced. So this is one way, and I hope. So this is a fuzzy logic control. I'll just run it for you. Sorry. So actually it is giving a better result. It is giving better result. So there is no overshoot at all. Sorry. So there is no overshoot at all. You can see. So the fuzzy logic controller, it is giving a better result. So now what is being done here? You can see that a fuzzy logic controller has been, sorry. So fuzzy logic controller has been developed, which is here. So the fuzzy logic controller is here. You can see this is the embed fuzzy logic. If I open it in fuzzy GUI, you'll be able to see the fuzzy logic controller, and it has been developed separately, and it has been embedded here. You can see. So it has been embedded here. You can see. Okay, you see, this block is available in the library, Simulink library. You just bring it here and you embed this, and this will do the function of fuzzy logic controller. So, and one last example I'll try to explain. I hope I have time. It's already 12. Now, genetic algorithm is another area which is coming under artificial intelligence. Now you minimize an objective function. Just I told you before, you need to find a variable x. So this is an example. Suppose this is a function. You have to minimize it. You have to minimize this function. 100 into x1 to the power 2 minus x2 whole to the power 2 plus 1 minus x1 whole to the power 2. This is a mathematical problem, and you have to minimize it. These are the constraints. x1 into x2 plus x1 minus x2 plus 1.5 should be less than 0, less than or equal to 0. Then second is 10 minus x1 into x2 is less than or equal to 0. And x1 has to be between 0 and 1, and x2 has to be between 0 and 13. Then using first you develop a fitness function, and this is a method of developing it. This is the fitness function. 100 into the same thing is being copied here. Y is equal to you using these commands. You develop a fitness function. Then we create a MATLAB file named this and .m with the following coordinate, and you write this coordinate. And these are the constraints. These are the constraints, if you recall. X1 into x2, if you recall, the 1.5. So these are the constraints. Minus x1 into x2 is equal to 0. So these are the constraints. So the constraint file has been developed. Then this is the method of recalling the function and realizing the result. So this GA, genetic algorithm. So this is the syntax of obtaining the result. I'm not going to just demonstrate it to you. Sorry. So the name of the file is I type here experiment 8. I type here experiment 8. This is the output. So this is the output. The true value of x1, x2 is this, and the final minimum value of the function is this. And you can always check the function. So this is experiment 8. So this is the function which I showed you on the PPT. This is the function. this is the function on the PPT, and these are the constraint file. This is the constraint file, and this is the fitness function, and all. So this how, and this is the main function experiment 8. Okay, and you got this so that the function was minimized with the value of this, and the corresponding to this, the two values will be, so corresponding will be 0.8122 and 12.3104. So if you so this is the result. The x1 is this, because we started with two variables, x1 and x2. So these are the two variables, and the output, the minimum value of the function is this. So I have tried to cover some examples of artificial intelligence. I hope I am close to the target. And any queries, anybody? The last session was a bit, I did in a bit in a hurry. So I don't know if everybody has been able to collect or not things. So any question, anybody?